Genesis 8 tells the story of the floodwaters receding. The world was covered in water, a vast, watery expanse. But slowly, ever so slowly, the waters began to go down. Inch by inch, the water level lowered. God remembered Noah. He had not forgotten his faithful servant. He remembered the animals with Noah, all the creatures, big and small, sheltered in the ark. God sent a wind, a gentle breeze at first, then a stronger gust. The wind blew across the earth, pushing the waters back, drying the soaked land. The wind helped dry the land. Bit by bit, the earth began to reappear. The water continued to recede little by little. Day after day, the waters continued to fall. This shows God's care for Noah. God protected Noah and his family. It shows God's care for all living things. God preserved the animals too, ensuring their survival. The earth needed time to heal. The flood had caused great destruction. The world was changed. It took time for the land to recover. The earth needed time to dry, to become fertile again. God was patient. He waited for the earth to be ready. He knew the earth needed time to restore itself. Eventually, after many days and nights, the ark came to rest. It landed gently on a mountain. The mountain was a safe place. High above the floodwaters, the ark found its resting place. Noah and his family were safe inside. They had endured the long journey on the turbulent waters. The animals were safe too. They had survived the flood. Safe within the ark, they waited. They waited for God's instructions. They knew God would guide them. Noah wanted to know if the land was dry. He needed to know if it was safe to leave the ark. He sent out a raven, a large black bird. The raven flew back and forth. It circled over the water, but it couldn't find a place to land. The water still covered much of the earth. The raven returned to the ark, tired and without a place to rest. The water was still too high. Then Noah sent out a dove, a small, gentle bird. The dove flew out over the water. The dove searched for dry land, looking for any sign of life. The dove came back to the ark. It carried a freshly plucked olive leaf in its beak, a small green leaf. This was a sign of hope. The leaf showed that plants were growing again. Life was returning to the earth. The waters were receding. The earth was beginning to dry. Dry land was appearing. Land for the animals to roam, for plants to grow. There was hope. Hope for a new beginning. Later, after waiting some more time, Noah sent out the dove again. He wanted to be sure. This time, the dove did not return. It had found a place to rest. The dove had found a place to rest, a place to call home. It had found a home, a place to build a nest, to raise its young. This was another sign, a clear sign. The floodwaters were gone. The earth was dry. The earth was ready, ready for Noah and his family, ready for the animals. Noah waited patiently. He waited for God to tell him to leave the ark. He trusted in God's timing. He knew God would tell him when the time was right. He knew God would guide him. Then God spoke to Noah. God's voice was clear and strong. God told Noah to leave the ark, to step out onto the dry land. God told Noah to take his family with him, to bring his wife, his sons, and their wives. God told Noah to bring the animals out too. All the animals, big and small, every creature that had been sheltered in the ark. God told them to go forth and multiply, to spread across the earth. God told them to fill the earth with life, to replenish the world. Just like in the beginning, God wanted the earth to be full of living creatures. He wanted the earth to teem with life. He wanted life to flourish, to grow and thrive. He wanted the earth to be vibrant and alive, full of color and sound. Noah was grateful. He was thankful for God's protection. He thanked God for saving him and his family. He knew they had been spared. He thanked God for saving the animals, for preserving all the creatures. He built an altar, a place to worship God. He carefully arranged stones, creating a sacred space. He made an offering to God, a sacrifice of thanks, a gesture of gratitude. God was pleased with Noah's offering. He saw Noah's devotion. God saw Noah's faithfulness. He recognized Noah's obedience. God made a promise to Noah, a promise for all time. God promised to never again flood the entire earth. Never again would the world be destroyed by water. God said that people are not always good. They sometimes make wrong choices. They sometimes stray from God's path. But God still loves them. God's love is unconditional. God's promise to never again flood the earth is a sign of His mercy, a sign of His forgiveness. This promise is like other promises God makes in the Bible, promises of love, hope, and redemption. It shows God's unwavering love and compassion, His enduring grace. Genesis 8 is a story about new beginnings. The earth had been washed clean, renewed, and refreshed. The flood had cleansed the earth, wiping away the old, making way for the new. Noah and his family had a fresh start, a chance to build a new life. They could begin again, free from the past. God gave them a second chance, a chance to learn and grow, a chance to build a new world, a world filled with hope. The story teaches us about God's power, His ability to create and destroy, to save and restore. It teaches us about God's love, His unwavering compassion for all creation. It shows us that even after terrible things happen, God can make things new. He can bring healing and restoration. God can bring hope and restoration. He can bring light out of darkness. God is always with us, even in difficult times. He is always there to comfort and guide us. He cares for us deeply. He loves us unconditionally. He wants us to follow Him, to walk in His ways. He wants us to trust Him, to have faith in His plan. This chapter shows us how God takes care of the earth, how He provides for all living things. It shows us how God takes care of all living things, how He nurtures and protects His creation. It is a reminder that God is kind, God is merciful, God is forgiving. He offers us second chances. The story of the flood teaches us to trust God, even when things are hard, even when we don't understand His ways, even when we don't understand, even when life seems confusing or overwhelming. The floodwaters receding slowly reminds us that healing takes time. Sometimes things don't happen overnight. Sometimes things take time to get better. We need to be patient. We need to allow time for healing to occur. Just like the earth needed time to heal after the flood, just like the earth needed time to dry and become fertile again. Noah waited for God's timing. He didn't rush. He trusted in God's plan. He trusted God. He had faith in God's guidance. We should do the same. We should trust in God's timing. We should wait for God's guidance. We should seek His direction. We should trust in His plan. We should have faith in His purpose. Noah's obedience saved him. He listened to God. He heeded God's words. He followed God's instructions. He obeyed God's commands. We should also obey God. We should listen to His word. We should pay attention to His teachings. We should follow His commands. We should strive to live according to His will. The dove returning with the olive leaf is a sign of hope, a symbol of new life. We can have hope even when things look bad, even when circumstances seem dire, even when we feel discouraged, even when we feel lost and alone. There is always hope in God. He is always there to offer us hope and comfort. God's promise to Noah is a promise to us too, a promise of love and faithfulness. God will always be with us. He will never leave our side. He will never leave us. He will always be there to support and guide us. He will never forsake us. He will never abandon us. The rainbow is a reminder of this promise, a beautiful symbol of God's covenant, a symbol of God's faithfulness, a testament to His enduring love. God loves us. He wants what is best for us. He desires our happiness and well-being. Genesis 8 shows us that even after a great disaster, life can begin again. life can be renewed and restored. This is because of God's great love, His boundless compassion. This is because of God's great power, His ability to bring life out of death. He is always working to make things new. He is constantly renewing and restoring His creation. He is always working for our good. He is always seeking our best interests. Before time was measured, a story began. Sacred Narratives brings that story to life. And what you hear today is only a fragment. Unlock the full experience on Spotify, audiobooks.com, Everand, Rakuten Kobo, B, and N audiobooks. Tune in, Baker and Taylor, Bibliotheca, Overdrive, and the Sacred Narrative app. The full journey is waiting. Please like and subscribe.